Here's a good way to check what focus height you need to set the material. I've got a bit of 6mm Bunnings MDF on there, and I'm sure most of you've seen a ramp test where you actually place it on something where it's close to the nozzle, like I've got there, and you run a line. I do a little bit of a different take on this for cutting, so I just draw a row of boxes. I'll see if I can show you quickly. Just 10mm by 10mm, 1mm apart, and send that to the laser and put in your normal, what you think your cut settings are for that thickness material you want to test. So I'll go back around, and I've already sent the file to it. Sit there, whether it wants to focus or not, it's another thing. But anyway, a row of boxes on there. Might have cleaned the camera lens. But anyway, I'm going to run that origin, and I'm going to run that now. Now what we want to see is some at the start, they'll have a thicker beam. You'll see it get thinner. Hopefully it'll cut through a couple of them, and then get wider again and go through. So I've got these set at 15mm a second, 10mm it's cutting, so I just upped it a little bit. So you probably see it slightly getting. I've got the air turned down for volume, so you can hear me. And we should be out of focus there, it should be getting bigger. I'll let it go a bit further. See if I can grab something at this point. And obviously we're getting wider beam there than there somewhere. So I'll stop there, and we'll see if any of them pop out. So obviously I've got a little bit fast for this material, so I'll be back in a sec and I'll send it a little bit slower. I've sent the file again, and 11mm a second, and I'm running 100% power because I've got a narrow tube, I can run that. So I'm just going to move it down a little bit, set the origin, so I'm going to start there now, and we'll start that test again. There we go, got one, so this test will work good. I don't know whether you can hear that, it's making a noise when it fires a beam. That's telling me that the beam's pretty well centre of the nozzle. And we'll be getting out of focus there and compressor. So I'll stop it here. I'll wait for the compressor to stop, then I'll turn it off. Don't need it now. And what we want to do is just lightly push and see how many pop out easily. That one. So we want a few to fall out, and what we do then is move the laser head over a little bit towards the lower side if anything. The material's going to bow up if anything. So I'm going to measure it there, and I've got this little gauge. I slide that under, and I'm going to be running the second one thereabouts. See if we can see what it is. Might need to focus it, but I think we're at about 4mm from the material. So I'll run another one on thinner material and show you that sometimes you need thicker material, you need the actual a slightly less gap to the material, because you want your focus basically a little bit into the timber where it's ideally focused, so it's not coming in there and going out and wider at the bottom. So this is how I find the right focus height in the nozzle material for different thickness material. We'll be back in a sec. I'll just pause the video and we'll run some thinner material on it. Put some 3mm MDF on there now, and I've just doubled the speed what I had before, and it's 22mm a second. Before I had 11, I think. So I had a good look at that gauge, and it is actually 4mm what it was before for the 6mm MDF. So let's see how much it changes for 3mm MDF. Origin and start. Same, we started it near the actual focus point. I'll continue to test a little bit further. And that should do us. We're going to get a wider beam there, I think they would be cutting through. So I'll stop the test and see what falls out easy. And we've basically got the same fall out. So if you've got thicker material, if it's double the thickness, just halve your speed. This pretty well shows that. So I doubled the speed and I've got the same amount of boxes falling out. So go a little bit more back to the way it's at. Long button. That'll do. And I like to measure it a little bit towards the lower end, because your material's always going to bow up. And where's the nozzle? I think it's about there. So that, check it again. Should make the numbers on these a bit bigger. So we're actually about a millimetre further away from the nozzle than what we were. Probably not going to auto-focus. There we go. So we're about 5mm. So there's a mil difference between that. I think the beam actually reflects off some materials a little bit better. And continues straight down a little bit, but yeah, we're 5mm there, we're 4mm was for the 6mm. That's how I work out the right focus height for whatever thickness of material you're using. Hope that helps everyone understand. Yeah, different thickness of material, you might need a different height to your material from your nozzle.